Yeah, well, we weren't having much rest time at all, really. The good thing was, well, good or bad thing, depending on where you look at it, there was not a whole lot of wind at the time, so it wasn't a whole lot of sailing, but we made the most of when we had the wind.
Uh-huh.
But if it was more windy, perhaps we wouldn't be able to visit all the islands in the time we did, and it would have been harder to land the dinghy. So we were kind of
Sure.
blessed at the time to do the record attempt. And I kind of even put out there that it might even be hard for other people to even try breaking my record because we had good weather and good conditions. So,
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword when you get that wind and you're in a sailboat, isn't it?
well, I mean, it's good when you're, say, travelling longer distances or not doing so much. You take it more of a challenge. But if you've got to stop somewhere and pull the sails down and then go to shore and it's all rough and rocky and then get on, manage a landing, then get back on the board, then put the sails up again, do it again another 10 times. Because most times you go out sailing, you might do a couple of sail adjustments, put up the sail maybe once or twice, and that's it.
Andrew, it's a fantastic effort. Did you get much media about it, or did you just do this on the QT?
They always suggest for the Guinness World Records you put in a submission what you intend to do, and usually you wait for them to respond back saying whether it could be a record or not, or how to evidence it. But I didn't have the luxury because you've got to pay $2,000 or $3,000 to get an immediate response. So I just proceeded on the basis that I sent in the submission. And then I went and done it. And then after I got back, I sent my story to I had a little interview with the Sunday Times, and they ran a little story on it, and I was in the paper probably second week into January. So,
now, you're working in Airlie Beach at the moment, are you not?
Cannonvale, yeah.
Cannonvale.
Area.
So what's the reaction been like to this feat of yours?
The thing is, it was in the paper, but I did want them to publish my website at the time because it had all the pictures and things. And until you have pictures and publishing of the islands you visited, the names, people might even think you're making it up.
Right. Looking at the adventure now that you've finished it, could you have done it better? What would you have done differently?
I had a pretty dream kind of run, actually. So, the weather was great. We had one day of rain, but you can't do nothing different about that. The boat wasn't performing so good because I had taken up the coast and it sits around a bit. And the thing with boats, you got to keep them out, and then that way you can keep all the running maintenance to a good higher degree. So I had a couple of running maintenance jobs on it, but now the boat's pretty good after all that. So sometimes you got to some things that you can't even prevent against. Like we had an intake. Water intake for the engine block up, and that was just something got caught up in the little 10-cent coin intake,
I understand.
5-cent coin. It's very small, so some things you can't even guard against. You think the engine's getting hot, why is that? And then you got to deal with it. So,
in your travels there around the 74 islands, did you see a lot of marine life?
Yeah, there's lots of it. Saw lots of turtles, saw lots of big fish jumping, especially around. It's between Airlie Beach and Mackay. That's the Whitsundays Islands in general, pretty much. And the top end's where the tourists go, and the bottom end, I guess, where people from Mackay go. But in the middle section, I guess people don't visit so much. There's lots of fish jumping around there, and you can kind of tell because there's some smaller fishing boats always there as you go past, but no one else, no yachts potentially, just small fishing boats, small power boats fishing for the day,
Andrew, did you see anything that worried you a little bit? I.e., we know that there's quite a bit of a lot of marine debris washing up on the Whitsunday Islands.
Yeah, well, I saw the one island where it had lots of garbage and stuff. I think it was the currents. It kind of drove all the garbage to this one island.